Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to take a closer look at one of my favorite companies, Nvidia. We can see, unfortunately for the day, the stock ended down 2%, sitting at $143. But on today's episode, what I'm really concerned about is taking a closer look at some of the great information the company shared during their CES event. They talked a little bit about the automotive market, about the robotics market, and obviously the gaming market. So a lot to unpack on today's episode, so let's get started.
I do want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and make sure to check out fool.com/Jose to get the top 10 stocks to buy right now.
All right, so I want to say this is probably the biggest news in forms of hardware for the gaming side, in my opinion. The company released their GeForce RTX 4070 Ti, and this is expected to come out on January 5th, so a few days from now, sitting at $800. I want to say, in my opinion, this is a great price point, especially they compare it and say that it's faster than the RTX 3090 Ti, which was a card that was selling for over $1,400-$1,500 if I believe. So overall price point, I do believe this is a lot more attractive, especially when we compare it to the 4080 and the 4090 that were selling at over $1,000. But I would be lying if I think that this is not going to sell out. I really think this is going to be a card that's going to sell out, especially with the overall performance. We are seeing that the RTX 4070 Ti is a lot faster than the 3090 Ti, especially in certain games. Not only that, the company did mention that this card is also more power efficient. So again, I do believe this recent generation, the 4000 or the Ada line that they've created, is doing amazing and has been great performance leaps, and we continue to see that for Nvidia. Again, the consumer market is definitely taking quite a hit, but like I mentioned, I would be surprised if this GPU doesn't sell out. Outside of that, they also mentioned that their RTX 40 series laptops are coming out, and they do mention that these new laptops are 3 times more efficient compared to their previous generation. Again, huge generational leap compared to previous products. And I personally did not buy any heavy laptop last generation, but I do believe this kind of laptops that are coming out are going to be super strong. They're going to be super efficient, super lightweight. And for me, that I travel a nice amount, I enjoy that. So again, I do believe there's a nice amount of consumers that are going to be purchasing some of these laptops. So they mentioned a little bit about their laptop breakdown. Outside of that, in the gaming market, the company does talk about their GeForce Now, which is kind of their clouding solutions. This clouding solution is being run on their super pods. They do mention that those are being updated to 4080s. And this is the great thing, right? Nvidia makes these graphics cards and then they give them a reason for being. They create their own super pods for cloud computing, so they are their own customers to some extent. So we can see GeForce Now, their cloud computing, it's roughly $20 a month to have a high performance computing in the cloud, which I personally think is pretty cheap. And they do mention it's 5 times faster than the Xbox Series X. They do mention that they're opening new data centers globally to kind of increase their GeForce Now network. They mentioned that they're opening in South Africa. They also are opening up in Armenia and Malaysia. So they're increasing their data center solutions for GeForce Now. Again, this is a paid subscription, also free, but I do believe it's going to overall continue to grow their data center network. More importantly, the overall subscription of this GeForce Now solution. Next, I want to take a closer look at some of the kind of software solutions the company mentioned. They talked a lot about the Omniverse and how the Omniverse is amazing at helping content creators and 3D digital designers develop their next product. They showed a pretty cool short-term video. Here are some of the tools that are expanding in that ecosystem. I'm personally super excited about the Avatar Cloud Engine. I'm definitely going to spend numerous hours learning how to work this, and who knows, maybe create my own little AI avatar in the future. That's going to be my goal for 2023. Let's see if I'm able to do it. Outside of their Omniverse, they do talk a little bit about their robotics platform, and again, this kind of just continues to show the overall software solutions that Nvidia is doing. Isaac, for example, is doing a lot for just modeling, replicating, and just simulation for robotics. And robotics is being used in everything from distribution centers to autonomous robots in all types of products. So they mentioned a little bit more about that software solution. Next, they talk a little bit about their automotive market. But before we go any further, if you are enjoying the episode, make sure to hit the thumbs up as it does help us grow the overall channel. If you want to support a little bit more, make sure to subscribe using my link at fool.com/Jose. Finally, if you are here, it means you're a semiconductor investor, and I do have a weekly semiconductor podcast. Make sure to check that out. The link is above or should be found on the pinned comment. So I want to say the final topic they talked about was Nvidia Drive and their kind of automotive solutions. I do believe there is huge growth opportunity here. They do mention that, for example, Nvidia, one thing affecting the overall driving market are vehicles nowadays are going to need two computers. Smart cars themselves are getting smarter and they need more technological advancements, that there's some form of computer inside the vehicle. But also that technology and all that kind of computation needs to be done off the vehicle. And that's why we have these huge data sensors that are working in kind of solving the feature of autonomous driving and kind of all these other smart solutions that are coming in vehicles. So we're having huge growth opportunities in the automotive market. Again, they have both hardware and software solutions here. They do mention that the auto market has two major growth drivers. First is just electric vehicles in general, right? The transformation and electrification of vehicles needs a lot of chips. The second thing is autonomous capability. Cars are getting smarter. They need more sensors, more computational power. So there are two growth drivers coming in from the auto market. Here, for example, they show an architecture of your traditional vehicle, and you can see there's numerous chips, each dealing with different products. One deals with monitoring, one deals with parking, another one deals with infotainment. What Nvidia is trying to do is kind of create a one-stop solution where they have this supercomputer, and they do, Thor, which is able to do everything at once. So you don't need to have that kind of distributed system that we see right now. Things like this can overall help with managing cost and also managing kind of repairs and stuff like that. Outside of that, they do mention that the drive simulation is not only needed for autonomous driving. We can use these simulations systems to kind of do the collaboration, the design, and just kind of seeing the overall vehicle manufacturing process. They even mention how Mercedes is actually using digital twins to kind of manufacture and show the best way to use their plant for manufacturing their vehicles. Another great news they did mention is that Foxconn is building EVs powered by Nvidia Drive Hyperion. So we can see a lot of strong customers are using Nvidia for their driving solutions. Next, we see that we've talked a lot about this in the semiconductor podcast, how vehicles are becoming now kind of computers. And here we can see that GeForce Now is coming to automotive partners. So you will be able to play some insane games when you're driving, when you're maybe when you're not when you're driving. That would probably be dangerous. But if you're a passenger, if you're waiting for someone, if you just need to do a quick play, we can see how the automotive partners can continue to grow from here. So again, I do want to say nothing here was too new. In my opinion, my favorite update was the overall RTX 4070 Ti release date and the price point. Even though the consumer market is a bit weak right now, this is a card that I believe is sitting at a strong price point and a strong performance. Let me know in the comments below, what are some of your favorite updates from Nvidia CES event. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.